Right, so dude, this patch has been wild. Like, just straight up wild. Now, I did something a little unconventional for my channel, is I didn't immediately talk about everything as they came. I decided to take a step back and let Blizzard cook. I gave them a chance. And it was such a wild ride after the patch was released. Now, I was pretty positive about the patch total, but it fell apart right after. Like, I uploaded, and then right after, everything went to shit, dude. We got that Sigma bug in which he could fly forever. I'm sure you've seen it. He literally flew forever. Doomfist couldn't block shit. My man was just melting and dying instantly. And the biggest problem is that those bugs lasted over 12 hours. They lasted almost 24 hours before Sigma was even disabled. Before Sigma was even disabled, that bug lasted nearly 24 hours. So the quality control is clearly bad, as we've had previous disabled heroes quite consistently. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, when Overwatch 2 first launched, Maze Wall wasn't even working, and it didn't work for a while. Like, quality control is quite out the window. I don't know exactly why. Are they pushing updates a little... I don't want to say too fast. That's not the solution. Are they pushing updates without enough QA testing is most likely what's happening here. Like, they're going to need to either expand the QA team, or they're going to at least have to add the PTR patch back. I don't know exactly why that was completely gone. They did mention it was because they're going to do updates faster anyways. Maybe that makes some sort of sense. It's hard to tell. Either way, they gotta do something about it. But here's the thing. Players were mass banned for using the Sigma bug. And you might initially say, all right, but bug abusing is not okay, which, you know what, I can agree, especially in ranked. Okay. But the thing about the Sigma bug, it was so easy to do by accident, because you literally used the alt and then looked up into the sky, and then after it expired, you'd be flying forever. And that's it. It was easy to happen by accident, and tons of people were banned for either using it once or using it by accident, which is insane. Now, the thing about bug abusing in ranked is if Blizzard looks at account after account, they see someone like queuing up as Sigma all night long in ranked, sure, ban them. But if it's just, let's say, quick play, even if they intentionally use the bug, no offense, but you're the billion-dollar company that let the bug slip through, and no offense, you're the billion-dollar company that let it stay for 24 hours. Disable my man. That's your job. I'm sorry, but it's your job. Don't bug abuse, sure, but that's your job. Now, luckily, after the mass ban went out, Blizzard did look at bans individually and relieved almost all of them. Like, most of them got relieved, except for ones they were sure were bug abusers. In that case, it's okay. And that's why I said Blizzard almost lost their credibility. That might be the title, almost lost their credibility, because they did reverse it, but like, they were walking a fine line. Banning people in a game, even though it's free now, but you can't actually make more than one account, is bad. Like, they were on some thin ice there when I heard it, but by the time I heard it, they already reversed it. I would have eaten them alive if I thought they were just banning people. Like, that is ridiculously bad. But luckily they caught it. But still, we're on shaky ground here. We are on shaky ground after this patch, not to mention the Junker Queen buffs being too far. Now, I'm actually not gonna bandwagon on the Junker Queen buffs, because she was barely touched and she's been weak since her inception. Like, basically the average player didn't even get to play strong Junker Queen, because it was just like during the early access when creators were testing out Junker Queen that she was strong, then she got nerfed, and then that's it. Like, that was about it. Like, no one really got to use strong Junker Queen, and then she got nerfed, and then they just didn't touch her, and she was kind of boring. And then you can see the gameplay in the background. I'm not even a good Junker Queen, and I'm having a lot of fun. I always liked Junker Queen. I just never felt effective enough on her, and now I do. Now, I do think she might have been overtuned for sure. She's a little bit too strong, but Blizzard got to work carefully here not to over nerf her, because she's not Roadhog strong. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. She's not Brigitte strong or Roadhog strong. She's just like on the edge. She's on the edge. You know what I mean? You still need to have a decent support to keep you alive. You only got 450 HP, but you got a lot more sustain now after the buff. So yeah, just some slight tuning backwards would be good, but not overdo it, because it's the first time, because she's already not really a tank, it's the first time that I feel like I'm playing Junker Queen, and it feels good. It feels really fun to play her. So they got to be super careful. She's almost there. They just went a little too far, but it's kind of a breath of fresh air after she's been too weak for a little too long. That's probably the only okay thing about the patch, unless you hate Junker Queen, then you're probably crying, but I like it. But what the negative thing we got to mention, oh man, not to mention the newest game mode in which I was actually more positive than the community was, right? That's weird. The community was more positive than me, and everyone calls me negative. But you know what? I decided to be fair. I looked at comments, I looked at threads, I looked at Twitter, I watched Stylos' video, and I watched your Overwatch's video, and I just listened to them, okay? I like to give people chances. Like, I like to listen to it. And there's a lot of good points, for sure. I think I was even a little bit over positive on it now that I look back, and I think it's just because I just so happened to have fun in the game that I tested, and I found it was okay. I still stand by the fact that the thematic part is good. I heard someone say that it's just the same map with changes, but like, it's quite a lot of changes thematically. I don't want to hate Blizzard for the theme. I think it's okay. I think they did fine. A lot of people did mention that they made the skins then the game mode after. That's something I heard from more than one creator and more than one comment. I do wonder how true that is. It definitely seems like it's true, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the case or if Blizzard just really messed up the balance of this game mode. It could be either or. A lot of people are also saying like the game mode was solely created to sell you the skin, but I need you guys to make a comment. Like, this is a genuine question, not some sort of YouTube gimmick. Do you guys, like, all the way since the Halloween event, since the first event in Overwatch 2, did you guys really realize the skins you were playing as? Like, did you, let's say, choose the Kiriko witch skin and then be like, yeah, I'm now gonna buy it? Like, unless you were already interested in the skin and you used it to test it out, does it really sell you on it? Especially Overwatch is first person. I don't know. I don't really think it. Maybe they know. They have the stats. Do you guys think it actually sells skins? I don't really feel like it sells skins, unless I'm off my rocker. Either way, the biggest and most truthful criticism to it, because the rest, balance, skins, it's a little bit meh. The biggest real criticism is 100% to do with the fact that the PvE elements are weak. I did mention that as well. I said they're just Torbjorn turrets and that the Doomfist was just a bot. I mentioned that. The problem is if you watched my video and left too early, I would have seemed more over positive. But within the same video, I mentioned that yes, just having a Doomfist AI and then basically Torbjorn turrets around the map doesn't make it PvE. It does not feel PvE. That one is the most real and truthful criticism. I ended up kind of dismissing it as a fun game mode without any real balance and okay, whatever. It's fine, good little fun. But I do agree with the fact that we've been so highly anticipated with PvE, and the fact that we were already supposed to get news more than once, and then it got delayed more than once, and then the first drop, this game mode, in which Blizzard themselves in their own blog post said this is a PvP and PvE experience, this is what they gave us. And you know what? That is pretty concerning. Truth is long ago, when it came to the archive events, all years were better than this when it comes to PvE. When it comes strictly to PvE, the enemies, the way it played out, the map, they were completely unique. The objectives, etc., were way better than what we have today. So when it comes to pure PvE elements, it is a little bit heartbreaking that this is what we got, and I would like to double down on that negativity and say, yeah, Blizzard's gonna have to do better, and I think they're gonna have to move kind of fast because the PvE aspect and the players waiting for PvE are getting antsy, and they're getting antsy for good reason. It's been a long time. Like, it's been what feels like forever, because it has been forever. And all we can do now is hope Blizzard can catch themselves a little bit here. They need to give us information about PvE. Like, they've kept delaying that information. We need some solid information. We need a rollout plan, and we need them to work hard on it. That's the truth. There's supposed to be like hero-based game modes, but if that hero-based game mode that you grind to, let's say, level up your hero is exactly like the game mode we just played, that PvP one with just light PvE elements, it's gonna sound terrible. I always thought it'd be kind of like the archive events on a much grander scale, and it should be. But when Blizzard goes ahead and says our all new PvP and PvE game mode, come play it, and then the PvE is Doomfist, hard bot, or medium bot, and Torbjorn turrets, it's not looking too spicy, but fingers crossed we get something a little bit better.